What if I told you that just 10 minutes a day could change your entire life? This is the story of how one small habit transformed Aryan's future. Aryan, a 28-year-old struggling with life, feels lost. His career is stagnant, his health is deteriorating, and he constantly procrastinates on his dreams. Every year he sets ambitious resolutions, getting fit, starting a business, learning new skills, but he never follows through. He either gives up too soon or gets distracted by his old habits. One evening, while sitting alone in a park, he meets an elderly man named Mr. Mehta. The man seems wise and content, a stark contrast to Aryan's frustration. Aryan vents about his failures, and Mr. Mehta listens patiently before saying, "Big dreams don't need big actions. They need small, consistent habits." Aryan is skeptical, but intrigued. Mr. Mehta challenges him, "Change just one small thing in your daily life and see where it takes you." Determined to test this theory, Aryan decides to start small. He begins waking up just 10 minutes earlier every morning. Initially, it feels useless. What difference can 10 minutes make? He wonders. But instead of going back to sleep, he decides to use this time for something productive, journaling his thoughts. He writes about his frustrations, his fears, and his dreams. At first, it feels silly, but over time, he starts gaining clarity about his problems and what's holding him back. Aryan meets Mr. Mehta again and tells him that journaling has helped, but his life is still the same. Mr. Mehta smiles and introduces him to the 1% rule. If you improve by just 1% every day in a year, you'll be 37 times better. But if you stay the same, nothing will change. This idea fascinates Aryan. He realizes that instead of chasing big overnight transformations, he should focus on small, daily improvements. He decides to make another tiny change, adding light stretching exercises to his morning routine. Initially, Aryan struggles with exercising in the morning, but he sticks to it. He starts with just 5 minutes of stretching. Surprisingly, he feels a little more energetic throughout the day. Encouraged by this, he adds another small habit, deep breathing for 2 minutes after stretching. These simple practices help him feel more focused and awake in the morning. Instead of rushing out of bed feeling groggy, he starts his day with a sense of calm and control. Aryan has always been a pessimist, blaming circumstances for his failures. But now, inspired by his small wins, he decides to try something new. Gratitude journaling. Every night, before sleeping, he writes down 3 things he's grateful for. At first, it feels forced. But as days pass, he starts noticing small joys, a delicious meal, a kind word from a friend, a productive day. Slowly his mindset shifts. Instead of focusing on problems, he starts appreciating the good things in his life. One day, while reflecting on his habits, Aryan realizes he hasn't learned anything new in a long time. He used to love reading as a child, but abandoned it over the years. Instead of forcing himself to read entire books, he starts small, just 5 pages a night. Within a few weeks, he finishes his first book. Reading opens up new ideas, inspiring him to think differently about his career and personal growth. One small habit leads to another. Now that he has a structured morning routine, a positive mindset, and a reading habit, Aryan feels more motivated. He starts drinking more water, eating healthier, and even cutting down on social media distractions. His productivity at work improves, and for the first time in years, he starts working on his side project, a blog about self-improvement. 6 months later, Aryan's life is noticeably different. His side blog, which he started as a hobby, begins attracting readers. One day, he receives an offer for his first freelance writing job. This is a turning point. His improved discipline, clearer thinking, and consistent effort lead to real success. His confidence soars. Aryan continues building on his small habits, and within a year, his life is completely transformed. He is physically healthier. He is financially independent with freelance projects. His relationships have improved because of his positive attitude. He feels in control of his life for the first time ever. Friends start noticing his change and ask for his secret. Aryan smiles and simply says, "It all started with waking up 10 minutes earlier." Looking back, Aryan realizes that his success wasn't due to one big life-changing moment. It was the result of small habits, consistently practiced over time. He learns the biggest lesson of his life. Success is not about massive actions. It's about tiny daily improvements. Aryan decides to share his journey with others, inspiring them to start their own 1% improvement journey. Because if he could change his life with small habits, anyone can.